What are your memories of when you went to India?
Oh, well,
Did you?
I can remember such a lot about the voyage because I'd never been on a ship.
Right.
And it was February, and we first of all, the ship's assembled at, I think it was Greenock.
Mhm.
We went from Greenock then due north to, I think, put off
The U-boats.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we swung around and came, I think our first sighting was Gibraltar.
Mhm.
And of course, in between times there was such a lot of activity, and I fortunately had volunteered to carry sides of meat from the cold storage place
Yeah, yeah.
to the upper deck.
Mhm.
And this afforded me relief from the now terrific heat,
Right.
because we came firstly to the white man's graveyard, which was, oh dear, I can give you this later on.
The white man's graveyard. Don't know where that would be.
Because rather strangely at this time, it was my 21st birthday.
All right.
And overnight, because I had chosen to sleep in a hammock, which was slung over men lying on the floor,
Uh-huh.
and of course during the heavy seas,
Yeah.
there were incidents of people being sick,
Uh-huh.
so you can guess what happened.
You were sick on them.
So, having
Accidents will happen, I suppose.
there were several occasions where, on going up on deck, I saw, for instance, an aircraft carrier in our convoy whose flight deck was simulating almost total overturn.
Mhm.
To my eyes, anyway. I was sat there with a bottle of cold water to drink, as near to the centre of the ship as I could,
Mhm.
to prevent being sick myself.
Right. So it was heavy seas.
Yeah.
And
Anyway, as I say,
yeah.
that quietened down, and I in the meantime volunteered to stand with the fixed bayonet, so that when boat stations were sounded, I could stand there and keep them back, sort of thing, in order,
Mhm.
or help to.
Yeah.
This continued until we first of all landed at Durban.
Oh yeah.
No, not Durban, Cape Town.
All right.
I was anxious because I had a distant cousin
Yeah.
who I knew was stationed in Cape Town.
Right.
I was anxious to speak to him.
Uh-huh.
So when I went out, you can imagine it was in somewhat of a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
However, the police cars at the exit to where I was on the ship put me on a charge for not wearing a tie. So I couldn't meet my cousin after all.
All right.
So having done the treatment I was to do for breaking the rules,
Mm-hmm.
I next remember going by train to a station that was called Retreat,
Right.
which must have been outside of Cape Town.
Uh-huh.
At this time, one of my mates from Sheffield had lost his Glengarry, and we had to march with full pack until we finally got to a transit camp.
Uh-huh.
Having done that, I have to say that my friend was taken ill, and as it happened years later, I spoke to him at Filey
Uh-huh.
when I was on holiday.
Right.
He told me that he'd had suffered from some brain happening
Right.
during the march.
Right. Malaria or something? No?
Possibly not.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was almost inhuman to be marching with full pack.
Mm.
Anyway, having got to this transit camp, we of course enjoyed what were pre-war diets.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, returning on the train to Cape Town, we boarded a ship. The ship was called, I know the name, but I'll have to tell you later.
Mm-hmm.
This ship was, could I just say that the first ship that I got on in England
Mm-hmm.
was a former Canadian Pacific liner
All right, yeah.
called, I've got the name for that as well. Now this ship, unfortunately, was a flat-bottom boat.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine how everything was amplified on the initial experiencing at sea.
Yeah, yeah.
Many times, ships in the convoy flew their flags at half-mast to indicate somebody had died.
Right. Mm. Just through sickness?
Heaven only knows.
Yeah, yeah.
But there were instances, for instance, where we know that destroyers passed very near to our ship,
Right.
taking emergency action.
Right.
So that when we left Cape Town, the first thing I remember was, as we were leaving the harbour, a lady standing out at the harbour exit,
Yeah.
singing songs like "You'll Never Know," etc., etc., which was gave me quite a feeling.
Like a lump in your throat type feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What do you remember? What she was singing? What was the song she was singing? Do you remember? Not off the top of your head.
Again, I had notes of all this shit,
Yeah, yeah.
so we'll pick this up later. Having left Cape Town, we went to Durban
All right, yeah.
and stayed in the harbour
Mhm.
for a couple of days.
Mhm.
It was possibly here that the lady sang the songs which are very dear to Englishmen,
Mhm.
which I'll give you details of.
Mhm.
We finally arrived after much working in the cold store and generally just looking over the side of the ship
Mhm.
was so monotonous.
You saw what, sorry?
It was so monotonous.
Oh, monotonous. Sorry, yeah.
But you will also know that there was a general feeling of fear
Yeah.
because we knew we were going to India.
Yeah, yeah.